Yeah. So today's topic is, drumroll, keep it going, work-life balance. How the hell does that work? No pun intended.
We were just talking about trying new things a little bit earlier in our pre-production meeting, and how sometimes, like, when you try something new, you don't know what's going to happen.
No, I didn't know we were talking about that.
Yeah, it was upstairs.
We were?
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Trying all kinds of new things, like new things with the kids, the business, moving, growing.
Yeah.
Trying the old thing again, the new way. You know, leaving your job, all the things.
In terms of mental health, though, if I'm referring to the same thing, is like sometimes to break out of the cycle that's not working for you, you do have to try new things, for sure.
100% agree.
Professionally, especially. That rhymes, kind of. Professionally, especially.
But yes, especially professionally, because for those of us who are like long-term mental health workers, it gets stale after a while. I love how there was like no editing of this like topic either, because I think that the whole title's in lowercase, because I think that how it works is that you change how you work.
Say more.
For work-life balance.
Yeah.
I think that so much of our lives we're told to work, that like the grind is the sexy part, that like if you're not grinding, you're not living. And if you're not living, you're just dying by not grinding. No.
But I think I'm jumping in ahead a lot. I think the why you grind is a big component in burnout and work-life balance. Because you could still be working the same amount of hours, but if it's your passion, if it's something that brings you joy, if it's something new, if it's for your own business, I think that doesn't mean it's not stressful, but I think it could be an ingredient in like the prevention around work-life burnout, non-balance.
So you think that the first step to burnout and prevention and work-life balance is actually being able to know your reason for doing what it is that you're doing, that helps to be able to justify it?
I wouldn't call it the first step, but I would definitely say I like to say ingredient, because I think sometimes there isn't an order that makes sense, because I also think that you might need to experience burnout in order to have the eye-opening moment that you need to change things, that's also an ingredient, change.
Okay, I love what you just said. That you might need to experience the burnout. Yeah. It's kind of like going to rock bottom, right? I think that burnout is equivalent to workplace rock bottom.
Yeah.
That like when you hit that place, it's like, well, where else am I going to go other than here?
Yeah. And even if it's not rock bottom, but it feels like it, because you're hella stressed, you are not in a place mentally where you think you should be, want to be, if you are isolating, if you are snapping at people, if you feel like you don't have time for anything else but work and you wish you did.
Or maybe you're not snapping at anybody else, but you're snapping at yourself, right? You're like short-tempered with yourself. You're easily frustrated, just not encouraged to go to work or do anything else, honestly. Or if you only are going to work, right? That it can show kind of some of like the high-functioning thoughts about what that grind can end up turning into a bunch of dust, right?
Yeah. And if you find like what's top of mind all the time is work,
that's a big sign that it's not going well.
And it's fine to think about it a lot, like, because some people are excited by it, but I think it's like if it's something that you wish was different, and that's why it's top of mind. Like, you're not feeling a sense of like satisfaction slash what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very simple word. it's like contentment essentially. But I don't think that's the word I want to use. So I don't really know. It's gonna come to me. But
So it's not the satisfaction. What is it that people should be looking for in their work if it's not satisfaction? I mean, honestly, like I think that's one of the things that we've been taught is that like you're supposed to find joy in your work. You're supposed to be happy, and this is part of like the puritanical concept of work, right? Where the Puritans had other people doing it for them, but I digress. What does it really mean to like think about finding joy in your work? Because some of us don't have jobs that we enjoy,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's almost like an elitist concept of finding joy in your work, or a capitalist moniker to like encourage people to work more, that you should find the joy. But the people who work the least seem to be the happiest, and they also make the most money. So maybe we're both.
Well, I think you also have to like it's case by case. I think, which is why it is good to get support around how to tackle the issue, because I don't think there is like this tiered system of like here's how you achieve work life balance and here's how you diagnose burnout, because I do think it like you look at developmentally, like maybe if you have a goal there might need to be a time period where it might mimic like an imbalance with work life balance, but you know that there's like a ceiling there for yourself and there's a boundary, and like at some point you are going to make decisions to make changes because you don't want that to be how you do your whole career or something like that.
So what I'm kind of hearing you saying is that it needs to look a little bit more like a SMART goal oriented space before you get to the steps of burnout. Because one of the things that SMART goals have is an end date, right? It's like timely, that you know that there's going to be an end to where that goal is taking you. That sometimes it needs to be more goal oriented functions, maybe, in thinking about how to kind of combat burnout. But what if the goal is so lofty that you never, know when you're going to get there?
Well, I think I'm more so thinking of, because is burnout, this is the question, is burnout the opposite end of the spectrum of having healthy work life balance? Are we talking about it in that way? Because can has a cluster of symptoms attached to it.
Yes.
Right. But what's the goal even in this conversation? Like work life balance. Does that mean that you work less? What does that even mean?
It's interesting because I think that for a long time I was considering work life balance something that was to be balanced, right? That like it's from that typical 40-hour work week model, where now one of the things that I've done, and I think I might have, maybe you've done this too. I read that book, The 4-Hour Work Week, and it helped change my perspective on what it could look like to really function at my best. And I think that like between, becoming pregnant a few times, taking mat leave, doing a couple of businesses and trying things differently, that it's given me a different perspective on what the 40-hour work week looks like. And I feel like that has helped me to be able to see it differently, and it's brought me joy. But I think that for a lot of the people who have not necessarily crossed into that space, that are still working the typical 40-hour work week, they are doing a lot to try to get to that balance, because we also were on that same horse, for a long time, which is waking up, going to work, taking a lunch, maybe going back to work, picking up your kids. Then you have maybe like 2 hours of time with them, and then it's sleep and back to the rat race. And it doesn't ever feel like there's any space for being creative. It doesn't look like there's any space for, unless you work in a creative field, but like there's not really a lot of space for you to even think about how to fill your own cup, or what you would do if you weren't in that space. And entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, but even thinking about what it means to have your time back to yourself could be really interesting.
So maybe what I'm hearing as the first step is redefining what work is for you, means for you, looks like. Maybe unlearning a couple of things, but definitely being able to customize your definition of what works for you. Again, no pun intended. But like,
what would be your definition of unlearning these things? What would be some examples or ways that you could describe that for some of the people who are listening today?
well, I think, like you just said, is it 40 hours? Is it 60 hours? Like, what truly helps you feel like you put in your work week? And is it important to feel like you've put in your work week? Or maybe for some, it could be, like backwards planning, like how much time do you need off? Like, and, we've been, a lot of the tech companies and newer companies have unlimited PTO, but there's a question of, is it within the company culture to use the unlimited PTO, or are you going to be like ostracized because you're actually just taking that PTO all the time? And so what are your like boundaries around taking time to not work? So I think that could be changed from person to person. Someone that's like wants to take 30 days off every summer to go travel, or someone that's like, I need a once a month mental health day to go get massages. It's different for everybody. Okay.
I love that you said that, like, that it's different for everybody. And I also think that there was something else that you said that really just, like, piqued a note for me, especially in a lot of the clients that I see in my practice that are overworked, maybe athletes working in sports and other things, is, are you working more than 40 hours a week? I have clients that work 90 plus hours a week. And they're like, I'm so tired. I'm like, well, like, I think I might know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're working 90 hours a week and you're wondering why you hate your job. You don't have the energy to talk to your family.
If you're in a relationship, are you having sex? Because you're probably not. If you wanted to be having sex, you working 90 hours a week.
Is it more than 7 minutes of sex?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's happening.
I don't think it's happening. Or if it is that even something that you're in touch with? Are you rushed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you rushed? Do you have time to exercise? Do you have time to talk to your kids? Do you have time to talk to yourself, right? That was what else we talked about upstairs, was like, what are the conversations you're having with yourself around this work experience too, right? Because if you're there 90 hours a week and all you're thinking is, oh, I just wish I was with my family. Oh, this is another opportunity for me to have to do more work for these people. I'm going to say maybe it's time for you to take a bit of a break. What do you think?
Yeah. I think yes, and yes.
yes.
I was listening for a noise outside. Yeah, I agree. Someone's here.
It's okay.
Can we pause it? Let's see.
Well, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Hey Boo with Lauren and Linnea. We are so grateful that you joined us today. If you're interested in receiving any therapy with either of us, I'm going to let Linnea tell you how to get in touch with her.
Yes. If you're interested in working with Mindfully Well Therapy, we work with anyone virtually in California or in person in Oakland. And we serve couples, individuals, and teens, and speak the languages of Arabic, Spanish, and Assyrian. If you wanted to book your free 15-minute consultation, all you have to do is go to www.mindfullywelltherapy.com and book your consult there, or check us out on Instagram at mindfullywelltherapy.
And I'm Lauren Turner, licensed clinical social worker and CEO of the Turner Practice. If you would like to book a session with any of our therapists at the Turner Practice, we are receiving clients in California, Arizona, Nevada, and Wisconsin. I love that. She thinks it's hilarious. Please feel free to find us on www.theturnerpractice.com, or you can follow us at The Turner Practice on TikTok and Instagram. Instagram.
Yep.
And we would love to be able to find a way for you to be able to work with us or any of our members of our team.
Don't you have a specialty?
Oh, yeah, I do have a specialty. I specialize in working with athletes and their families in high performance. And we also do some forensic work here, too, in social justice. And we just love our clients here at the Turner's Practice. We also do couples therapy for those of you who may be in athlete couples. And we can't wait to continue for you all to join us this season, and hope you can follow us and meet with us soon.